Hi students, today we are going to start the new module of advanced organizational behavior, 8 number module. It is employee bias and silence. Again you will be seeing the 5 different lecture under this particular module. Employee bias and silence both are very significant part in organizational behavior domain. What employee bias is concerned, extent to which employees feel empowered to express their views, opinions with work related issues. There is no any specific rule in these cases which kind of things employees can express. Up to what extent employees feel empowered to speak up on any issues of organizations related to workplace, and that is the employee bias. Silence is concerned, it is one of the behavioral phenomena of employees, whereas some people they are not participating, they are not commenting on any issue of organizations, they just keep silence. Level of silence is very important things. When people used to speak, when people used to remain silent, and this is the content we need to study today. Why this particular module? This is one of the very important part. You need to make a plan in organizations, workplace related, HR related, marketing related, but people are not feeling empowered. They are not empowered basically to express something with work related issues. They are not authorized, they are not given any kind of authority to speak. As a result, some people remain silent, some people they are not giving any consent, any opinion towards on any issue of organization. As a result, organization may have some sort of problem because they are not getting good feedback, and that may lead some kind of authoritarian practice of decision making. Your culture and climate is something like that. People are not feeling very comfort level that they can express, they can communicate something. Types of employee bias, lecture 1, types of employee bias. There is first part we need to discuss the types of employee bias. Now see, in this particular agenda we need to study basically, we need to see what are the different thinkers of employee bias, definition of employee bias, and scope of your types of employee bias. 3 different angles we need to see: thinker of employee bias, definition of employee bias, types of employee bias. 3 important things. What are the people, thinkers, what they express their views, and types of employee bias, of course, what kind of definition. Now, thinker of employee bias, Hirschman 1970 of his famous book Exit, Bias and Loyalty, he coined the term basically employee bias first. Hirschman explored how individuals respond to dissatisfaction in organizations. They can either exit or use bias, express consent to seek change, remain loyal, express consent to seek change. Now see, what is it exactly? Hirschman concept of bias, leave the organization like as express consent to seek change. This is very important. What you want to do basically, sometimes you are not satisfied with the organization, then what to do that particular cases? You can leave the organization, you can raise your bias, or you may remain loyal in an organizational context. employee bias refers to the ways employees share ideas, opinions, suggestions or concern to improve workplace condition, policies or performance. This very important context of any organization. What are the mechanism you have basically for getting feedback, whether employees are freely communicating their ideas, they have the proper techniques of shared knowledge, they have the proper mechanism of raising their voice, speak up policy. These kind of things are already advocated by Hirschman in 1970. Students, what is the exact definition of employee voice? Employee voice refers to the ability of employees to express their opinions, concern, ideas and suggestions about workplace related issues to influence decision making process in organizations. He expressed that opinion, concern, ideas and suggestions, does any people are free to convey their opinion, which may be the useful input of decision making process. Promotive behavior that emphasize the expression of constructive challenge intended to improve rather than merely criticize, making innovative suggestions for change and recommending modification to standard procedures even when others disagree. Van Dine and Lipin 1998. This may be the promotive behavior, expression of constructive challenge intended to improve rather than merely criticize. Promotive behavior, making innovative suggestions. Now thing is that giving feedback of promotive behavior, is it acceptable by organization? Do you regard the speak up practices of different group of people? Are you giving any kind of regard or value to that, to this kind of opinion? Now see types of employee bias, exit bias, loyalty and neglect. EBN model, prohibited bias versus promotive bias, formal versus informal bias, upward versus downward bias, individual versus collective bias, constructive versus destructive bias, silence is a form of bias, digital bias. Different types of bias are there basically. It is based on the culture, it is based on the organizational philosophy, organizational practices, climate. People are feeling very comfort level to raise their bias. This is also very important part. So classification is based on purely the culture. The first model, first types, exit bias, EBLN model, what is it exactly? Hirschman 1970 model. Exit means that the employee decide to leave the organizations due to dissatisfaction. Bias, you can raise your bias. Loyalty, the employees remain committed to the organization. Neglect, the employee disengage from their work and reduce their effort, commitment. This is one of the model given by Hirschman AO 1970. Now see, this model defines, if you are disagree, if you are not satisfied with the organizational policy, so you may exit. People are exiting, people are leaving the organizations. That may cause some kind of attrition. Bias, the employee express their concern or suggestions to improve the situation. Loyalty, the employee remains committed to organization despite dissatisfaction, often hoping for improvement. Neglect, the employee disengage from their work and reduce their effort or commitment. I think this is one of the area basically which is not focused very scientific way of any organizations. In fact, in researcher also I have seen that people are not much interested to focus that particular area as a research topic. And people think it is very easy thing, easy practices. Either you can speak, don't speak, remain silent. Okay, you don't like that organization, you just leave the organization. Now thing is not finished here. But bias, loyalty and neglect, if these particular cases, you are not focusing on neglect phase, though ultimately what happened? Your overhead cost may increase because people are not giving their more effort. Your salary expenditure, payroll expenditure, that may increase. But side by side, performance of the employees decrease, need the proper attention, that particular cases. Prohibited bias versus promotive bias. What is prohibited bias? Prohibited bias refers to employees speaking up about problems, issues and practices that they perceive as harmful or inappropriate in the organization. It is focused on identifying and correcting existing problem. Liang and Farr, 2012. Promotive bias, an employee reports unethical behavior such as fraud or harassment to mismanagement. That is Liang and Farr, 2012. This is one of the Chinese researchers. They are doing this kind of research. In fact, apart from that, I have seen that they are having good type of research on that particular topic. Prohibited bias, like as people are interested, employees are interested to raise the issue that may sometimes harmful or inappropriate to the organization. Now see whether organizations can accept this kind of bias. Example, an employee report unethical behavior such as fraud or harassment to management. Like as in the case of promotive bias, an employee propose a new software tool to streamline workflow and increase productivity. Now see second important part, formal bias and informal bias. Formally, you are recording some kind of bias. Informally, there is no any mechanism basically. Informally, you are spreading this kind of bias in different fora, but thing is not formal in nature. Formal bias mechanism are structured and official, grievance procedure survey. Informal bias involves causal or unofficial expression of opinion. Example of formal bias, an employee submitting a formal complaint through the company's grievance procedure. Informal bias, an employee sharing concerns about workload during a coffee break with a supervisor. So these are all the things basically, what way one can raise their bias through different mechanism. Upward, downward bias. Upward bias involves employees communicating with higher level management. This is the upward bias, but downward bias refers to the management communicating with employees. An employee suggesting a new workflow process to their manager is improve efficiency. Downward bias, a team leader supervising together employee opinions on a new policy. So this is upward and downward. So upward is nothing basically, you are channelizing your bias to higher authority, and this is happening basically through different modules. Downward means management communicating with employees, just opposite manner. Now so many techniques of types of raising bias, individual versus collective bias. Individual bias is when employee express their opinion independently. Individual bias is when employees express their opinion independently. Do you understand this point especially? What is it exactly? Independent person without the help of others, he or she can raise some kind of issues, guide to the management, but collective bias involves group-based mechanisms such as union or employee representative, and union negotiating better working conditions on behalf of employees. In the case of individual bias, an employee directly approaching HR to discuss personal grievance. So these are all the things basically, the practice basically, which is commonly using by different group of people. Now see what exactly management acceptance. Collective bias normally I have seen in research that is not acceptable. I think organizations feel that may lead some kind of problem for the organization. But if an individual raise the issue, that can be handled very easily. So collective bias, something like that is the problems of collective people. Now see constructive bias, destructive bias, it aims to improve the organization. Destructive bias may harm the organizations of its members. In constructive bias, an employee suggests a new process to improve efficiency and reduce cost. In the case of destructive bias, an employee spread rumors or negative comments about the company to undermine morale, and this is Van Dale and Leap in 1998. Constructive bias, destructive bias, both are very important to understand that what kind of feelings, what kind of issues among the different group of people. Now, silence as a form of bias. What is it exactly? This is another form. Silence can be form of bias when employees choose not to speak up due to fear, disagreement, disengagement or strategic reasons. This is very common, I think almost all of organizations. Now, digital bias, with the rise of technology, employees now express their opinions on digital platform, internal social media, feedback tools. Example, employees post feedback or suggestions on a company-wide platform like Slack. Team members share ideas for improving process on an internal collaboration tool like Microsoft Teams. So, digital bias is also very platform, what way you can raise the issues and other things. Now, some of questions are there, students, that will be helpful for you people. What are the 4 response to dissatisfaction in Albert Hirschman EBLN model? Can you share real world examples where culture influence employee bias? When and why an employee silence be more harmful than helpful to the organization? Can leaders effectively address it? Now, see, this is also one of the great part. In fact, you must be knowing the employee silence and employee bias, both are different things. If some people think that raising bias is not meaningful, then people used to remain silent. So, this is also very important part, because employee bias and silence, both the things has to be seen jointly. Can technology fully overcome deep-seated cultural barriers to bias? Justify your answer with examples. I think that cultural barriers can be removed through technology uses, and that is possible. Some of reference are there. In fact, I am telling you, you can see the sum of text, some of books are there basically. Otherwise, you can see some of research article. I am asking to everybody, you see some of research article that will help you to understand this particular part. Thank you very much for listening types of employee bias. Thank you.